Hello and welcome to another episode of Tabi 204. Here I'm meeting with Lucy and Ryan, organizers of the Credit for Life event sponsored by Bay Coast Bank that's taking place this April at DHS. So I have a couple questions for you both. What exactly, first of all, is the Credit for Life event?
So Credit for Life event is for students to simulate real life budgeting and they're their 25-year-old self. So they're going to know, hopefully, the career path that they're choosing, and then now they need to budget according to what their monthly income is.
Okay, so it's like a big simulation.
It is a simulation.
Okay.
Yes, 85% of high school students feel that, understanding financial literacy after high school is one of the most important things.
It is definitely a top priority.
30% think their school is preparing for them. Luckily, Dartmouth has a financial literacy program and is well ahead of that. This kind of fills the gap and gives them some practice on how to utilize the skills they learned in math class and balancing their checkbooks and everything else.
Very
Put it
true.
to good use.
That sounds very beneficial. So this event, so it's all digital and you just go from module to module, and I'm assuming it factors in like transportation, living expenses. So it's a whole holistic view of how your financial life would go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So they're given, as they enter the gymnasium, they're going to be given a passport, and the passport will indicate which booth they'll need to go to first. And once they go to that booth, they'll need to explain to the volunteer that's there to help them why they're making their selection. So we can
Okay.
take for an example as transportation. Are you picking a 2-door car or 4-door car, or are you picking a bicycle? So if you are picking a bicycle, are you living in New England? Because going from work, and what are you going to do when you are on a date? What do you how is that going to work with a bicycle? Those are the conversations you need to really be prepared to answer, because they will be asked.
Seems extremely realistic
It really is.
because you can't bike around here,
No, you
like
can't,
long
you can't.
distances. Certainly. So why do you two believe that financial literacy is important for young people, like high schoolers like myself, to learn?
So in my take of it is, normally in my situation, my parents never really discussed finances at all. And it wasn't taught in the school. So when you got your first paycheck, you really did need to know how to navigate that on your own. So it's great to have the opportunity that Dartmouth High has offered to their students. And now really doing like a grand finale. This is everything you've learned over the course of the year. Let's put it into practice and see if you are able to budget without overdrawing on your account and without using your credit card. So those are the skills that we want them to take out of this event.
And you don't want to graduate and not have any practice in doing something. And a lot of people aren't going to college, they're going right into the workforce. So to have a little dry run and a little test to see what it's like, hopefully it will benefit them in the long run.
Wonderful. Fully agree with that. What age, if either of you had to choose an age to start talking to kids or teens about money, when do you think that's a good time to introduce that topic?
I think when they get their first money from their tooth fairy, that would be once you're giving your
very
child money,
Yeah.
once you're giving your child money, you really should be talking to them about savings. Because savings, we want it to be a habit. And we want you to learn to save as young as possible. If you get an allowance, half of it should go into a savings account. So for me, I'm just saying, the first time you get money, that's the conversation you want to have with your child.
Absolutely.
That
There's
makes sense.
no age to start. As soon as the child is mature enough to understand what's going on, I think it's a great idea to talk finances and get them thinking about dollars and cents, because we don't have passbooks anymore, so we don't have that interaction with the bank teller anymore and understanding we're putting money away. So anytime we can teach them as parents or uncles or aunts, it's a great thing.
That makes perfect sense. So you suggest that it becomes like a habit early on, but for those kids who just didn't get that talk at home for whatever reason, this event is a great way, it's never too late to learn about finances.
Absolutely.
And they can get those important skills before they enter the workforce or college or their first part-time job, and they can just kind of figure out what to do in general.
Absolutely. And the important part also that we want to make sure that the students get out of this is credit cards aren't meant to supplement income.
They're not free money.
No, it isn't free money, and we want to make sure that we really touch that topic before you get into a situation. So they'll use a credit card because it's important to use it to build credit, but we also letting them know that it should only be used once during this fair, if you can, and then paid off at the end. So that's basically life. We want it to be real life skills, and that's part of being a real life skills.
Very true.
Pay your bills, pay yourself, and then whatever's left over, have fun with that.
Yes.
But not the other way around, because then you get yourself in trouble.
Exactly, that's an easy way to fall into debt. And I know a lot of kids my age, it's no fault of their own, but they don't know what to do with their money, and so they fall into debt, or they have very little money until the next payday, because no one's sat down with them and been like, okay, here's how we make a spending, a savings, an emergency fund, how to factor that all in and organize it all. It is a system of organization in essence.
And it's not something that you learn naturally, right? Somebody has to
Exactly.
teach you this. So if
Exactly.
nobody teaches you this, how are you going to ever know? You're going to learn by
Exactly.
trial and error, and that's dangerous.
Very true. So it's much better to learn it at school at an event like this.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Credit for Life event in particular, let's take a look at that student orientation video to really go further in depth to what this event entails. Let's take a look.
Ready to jump into the future? Think you're ready to define financial success? Welcome to the Credit for Life Fair. Let's fast forward to the real-world decisions of your future. You're moments away from picking a profession, getting your paycheck, a savings account, a credit card, and a credit score randomly chosen for you. Sounds great, but you'll need to stay within your budget. Need some help? The credit score module has you covered. On the day of the fair, you'll make decisions at each of the 10 checkpoints. How will you get to work? Can you afford to buy a condo or rent an apartment? And of course, we can't forget about food. Are you cooking at home or heading to your favorite restaurant? We've got a ton of decisions to make, but let's start here. Pick a career you really like. You'll be working for a while, so think about what you love to do. You'll notice your salary shrinks after taxes and other deductions. Your monthly take-home salary reflects this, along with a credit score, savings account, and credit card limit. For this fair, your monthly salary is your starting checking account balance. Now wait, so where do all these tax deductions even go? Well, don't fret, our money module on paycheck deductions can answer any questions you have. And you've likely got some student loans too. The education checkpoint helps you make decisions that will impact how you pay these back. Okay, so what if you're rethinking an earlier purchase? Well, at any time, you can revisit a checkpoint to change your mind. The system will recalculate for you, so why not try out as many options as you like? And you surely know this by now, but life is unpredictable. Be sure to prepare for any unexpected events. Whether it's birthday money or a car accident, small moments can change your financial path. And just like real life, you're never tackling it alone. Volunteers are here for you along the way. All you have to do is click the chat button for real-time answers. Once you visit all 10 checkpoints and finalize your choices, you're not done yet. The last step is to click on My Budget Review to check on all your loans and how your credit card balance is looking. Your budget counselor may congratulate you for a job well done and suggest ways to improve. While you wait for a counselor, visit one of our money modules to learn more about a variety of financial subjects related to the fair. That's Credit for Life. Wait for your designated time to begin, but until then, return to your regularly scheduled teenage life and check out those money modules to prepare. If you have any questions, email us before your fair starts or hit chat all throughout the fair. We are here to help. And once you finish the fair, you'll have everything you need to live a healthy financial life to set up years of success. Have fun and happy budgeting, spending, and saving.
Well, that was very informative. Thank you for providing this information so students can really figure out what they're getting into before the event itself. So, what are the goals for the Credit for Life event? What exactly is it hoping to accomplish?
Well, we hope, first of all, that everyone has a great time. So that's the first goal, is we want to make sure that everyone's enjoying the event and it isn't stressful for them. The other goal would definitely be to see if they can live on their monthly income and to have enough saved for their retirement. So ultimately, we just want to make sure that this is a fun event for them and they're learning something at the same time.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's well put.
Definitely. And do you think financial literacy should be taught more in schools? I know DHS has a personal finance class, but do you think there should be something more, like another type of program, or it should be expanded upon? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think whatever a school can do to teach the kids what's coming next. You know, we do a good job of teaching you about history and math and what came before, but when you actually put your life skills in practice, and everything costs money, and you only make so much money, there's some tough decisions that need to be made, especially right out of the gate at 25, you know? You don't start to get comfortable until you get older, you know, and you get more experience in the job force and you get better jobs. But when you're starting out, you got to make these tough decisions, and I think it's a great, safe practice place to play and experience and figure out life a little bit.
I agree with that. So, in your opinion, just to kind of close off, what is the most important thing for students to know about their own finances? Like, if you could only sit down with them for 5 minutes, like you or a teacher or some sort of volunteer, and just be like, okay, this is what you need to know to avoid ruining your life, what would that be?
First, I always say you're one mistake away from changing your life. So you want to make sure that the first thing is make sure you're paying your bills on time. That's what I would say. Don't miss a payment. Don't ever miss a payment. That's the first thing. Second thing is start saving now, because right now students have time on their side and they can start saving and become millionaires. So it isn't too late to become a millionaire, and ultimately that's all of our goals. And we as parents and teachers want all the students to become very financially independent. And by saving now, that will help you in the long run in building your savings.
And just to add on to that, as soon as you can, start a 401k with your business. And I started one at 25, and I'm projected to have a ton of money when I retire at 65. So, putting money away a little bit before you get your paycheck, learn about what gross income is, what net income is, and putting that little money away that you don't even feel before taxes, you can use it when you get older and not spend it on something frivolous.
Yeah, it seems like a great method. So that is like the bare minimum, like the core of what every student should know personal finance wise. And that's what you're definitely going to go over at the Credit for Life event on April 11th. Thank you so much for appearing on Tabi 204 today, and thank you for watching episode 4. I can't wait to see you at Credit for Life on April 11th. Thank you.
Thank you.
You.